In this lesson, we're going to talk about assets. Any piece of content in an Unreal Engine project is an asset. You can think of assets like building blocks that you use to create your game and application. For example, material is an asset. Blueprint is an asset. Sound is an asset. Most of the assets are created outside Unreal Engine and then imported to your project. For example, if I need a 3D model of something, I or someone else can create it in a special program like Blender or Maya. And you can find a lot of free 3D assets and even more paid ones on web. For example, Sketchfab or TurboSquid. For now, let's go here and open the content drawer. Since we have selected the started content, we already have a few assets here. So we have some audio, blueprints, maps, materials, particles. Let's open materials. A material defines the surface properties of an object in your scene. So you can think of a material as the paint that is applied to a mesh to control its visual appearance. For example, here we have this 3D floor. And if I open the content drawer and select a material, for example, this one, you can see that the floor changes to this material. So basically we still have the floor, it's the same floor, but the material is different. Let's put stones. Well, that looks pretty good. Okay, if you don't want to click and click to open the drawer every time, let's just click here, dock and layout, just like this. And you can adjust it like this if you need more space. So we have the floor selected, and if we go here to the details and go to the materials, we can see that the material that we have applied is here. And actually, if you click here, you can see all the materials that you have available. So instead of going here and select a material, you can just click here and select it from this list. Not all materials are good for floor, of course. Now, for example, this is just a concrete floor, which works very good, but this one it's not for floor, it's for door. But you need to understand that materials don't have a 3D shape. So basically it's just a flat picture on a 3D model. So if you want it to be like real dents and bumps, then you need to adjust the model, not the material. The material is just a paint. We go to shapes. We have some basic shapes here. We can drag and drop it like this. When you drag and drop an actor, it appears here in this list. And it's called Shape Sphere. Then let's do the pyramid like this. So these are 3D models, very basic ones. If you select it and go to materials, again, you can select a material for this. Don't forget though that we have all these 3D models and materials only because they are imported to the project because we have checked the starter content. Best practice is to put a letter or 2 letters sometimes before the name of your asset, just to organize them and to understand what type they are. For example, M means material, T means texture, SM means static mesh. So for example, let's drag and drop this chair and another one and rotate it a bit like this and select and rotate it like this and maybe move them a bit. Okay, so now we have 2 chairs. You can see it here, chair and chair 2. So it says instance because all those actors are instances of this chair. And if you do anything with this instance, let's say, for example, we can change the material for it, like this. That looks strange, but we changed something, right? And then I'm gonna put the other instance. You see that our actions didn't affect the third chair. That's because every chair is its own instance. And if we want, for example, to change the material for all chairs here, for example, we have several chairs in our game, and then we decide that we want to change material for every chair. Of course, you can click on every chair, go here, change the material, go here, change the material, but it's so time consuming. Instead, you can just click here, right click, edit, and you'll see this window. Here are a lot of different settings, but for now, I just want you to look here, material, and I'm gonna choose this colorful material, okay? So I click save and then close. And you see that all the chairs are now colorful, and even the chair here. If you have an asset that you want to import to your project, you need to click here, import, then find a folder where your object is, then click or select everything if you want to import everything, open. And then for this window, you usually just click import all. And here is the new assets that you have just imported. And after you finish importing your assets, you will notice that their icons are marked with this star symbol. And that means that the assets are not saved yet. So what you need to do is to click Save All button right here. It shows you the type. So we have 2 static meshes, 2 materials, 2 textures, and yes, the level. It's just our level here. And since I didn't save it, Unreal asks me if I want to save the level too. So yeah, I want to save the level. Okay, and final thing, if you want to move assets from one folder to another, you can drag and drop. For example, these textures go to textures. You can move here, copy here. Let's do just move. And you can see that 2 items moved. All right, okay, very good. That's it for this lesson. In the next lesson, we will talk about actors.